Right, so we just turned into waypoint 5, and we still got a ways to go. This is a long flight in country, but you know, it's nice that I appreciate when mission creators do that. And honestly, this mission is meant to recreate roughly where the CF-18s were based out of, and then where the actual strike took place, just out of I believe it's Raqqa, if I'm pronouncing that right and remembered correctly, but. Yeah, I mean, being a Canadian, I'm very proud of this mission, but it's also really cool that we get to fly something that's kind of just modern era. This strike happened April 8th, 2015, so I mean, that's just over 8 years ago, which is pretty incredible. When it comes to fighter jets and stuff, like, there isn't a whole lot of air-to-air going on anymore, particularly Canada. We haven't really fired anything other than maybe the odd balloon here and there, and that was actually the US, but, you know, my point is, like, you know, the fight against ISIL in the Middle East, the war on terror, was, you know, the most combat a lot of Canadian pilots have seen in their career. So, you know, it's really fun that we get to fly something that's to recreate that event back on that day. On board we have 3 GBU-16s, which are based off the Mark 83, which is why we see Mark 83 or 83 LG, 83 laser guided bomb. So we have 3 of those on board, and actually what's neat about the F-18, CF-18 specifically configuration, is they have an asymmetrical configuration, so 2 bombs here and 1 here, and it's actually a fuel tank here, so you know, a little different. But that's just, I guess, how they decided. I'm not exactly sure why. I mean, obviously you have to carry more fuel. We are a large country, so we have lots of ground to cover, so maybe we're just used to flying in that configuration, but that is historically accurate. Not sure why, though, but very interesting. So I guess we can start thinking about hitting the target. We are still 38 miles from waypoint 5, which will be our target. All 3 targets that we're trying to hit today are all in the vicinity of each other. Just some quick facts that I found from a government website about this event. There isn't a whole lot, but, you know, just operation impact in general. CF-18s flew 1,378 sorties, which is quite a few. There's 251 airstrikes, 5 in Syria, and this actually was the very first one that we're recreating today. The rest were all mostly in Iraq, and we spent 606 munitions during our throughout the 251 airstrikes. All right, let's order Chips, our wingman, to head out there, conduct mission, and return to base.
Flight.
There he goes. So we have our flare on. Now we know waypoint 5 is actually going to be our first target, or where the target is. Let's hit weapon designate and take a look at our flare. It'll be very hard to see. So let's do infrared and try and zoom a little bit. Oh, we see a little bit. Okay, so the 3 targets we're aiming for are smokestacks, TV tower, and a long farm building. This is a known ISIL garrison. So hopefully, yeah, you can definitely see kind of what looks like a factory, and it looks like it's either in full force. Oh, no, it's getting attacked. So we're going to do our part as well, and hopefully all goes well. But let's continue. We're 15 miles out, so let's go ahead and put in our code for our laser. Now, based on this, we know it's code 1688, which is typically the default. If I hit code first and not selecting the LGB, it'll set the code for all 3 bombs on board. If you do it selecting the bomb first, then you would just be setting up the code for this bomb here, but now they're all set up as shown there. Just a little tidbit there. Okay, we're already in mode auto. We want electronic fuse instantaneous. The rest is about right. Now we're going to make sure we have our laser on, but first master arm switch on, air to ground, switches automatically to the radar. I want the flare back, and there we go. Now let's find our azimuth, our vertical line here. We can drop the bomb kind of in vicinity where we need to. 22 seconds to release as shown on the HUD. We'll just hold her nice and steady right there. And we can definitely see it on the flare. Not super clear because of the cloud coverage, but that's more than okay here. Up at least 3 seconds. Time impact, 5 seconds. Barely see it through the cloud. Here we go. Oh, nice. That's a direct hit. Let's go around, get ready for our second pass and the second bomb. Alright, so we're just about 10 miles out from the original target. All three are kind of in the same vicinity, so we'll get ready for another pass here. We just have to kind of get back on the right track and the right angle here. So let's make a turn to the southwest. Get back in position. We'll have to reposition our targeting pod. Find the next target, hopefully through one of these gaps here in the clouds like we see. You can see actually a lot of damage in there, so it's good signs all around. Just wait for our targeting pod to get back on station here. There we go. And let's just zoom out a little bit. And we are going to hit this TV tower and this farm. Let's just work our way right to left. And how's that? Whoa, didn't mean to be in a straight dive. That's why I use autopilot when you're flying this, but that's okay. Let's also make sure that we turn our laser back on. It turns off automatically between after you've released a bomb. Let's just get back on this heading here and drop our second bomb on our second target. Our release is about 8 seconds, 4 seconds. This is whole weapon release. Bombs away. Hopefully that was a good drop. It's a little chaotic there. Let's just change our viewing from a further outside. We are lasing, so hopefully we're high enough there that it's going to be a good hit. Nice, good hit again. All right, that's 2 for 2. Let's go around, maybe gain a bit more altitude there. Let's go out to 10 miles. A little brief. We were kind of off center line there a little bit. Thank goodness bomb was still able to make its way over to its target, but probably try and give it a bit better chance here if we just gain a bit more altitude and come out a bit more. But a couple missions ago we covered this really neat mission where we were using a Reaper that was lasing for us as JTAC. Today we're doing it all ourselves. As per usual, I always link the mission in the description down below so you guys can fly it as well. I really appreciate all these mission creators that do post these available to us free of charge, and I do my best to assess them, fly them, and see and share them with you guys so you guys get to know. So if you are enjoying this video, make sure you hit the like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe for future missions. I'm hoping to start doing some F-16. I have done F-18 and F-15 Strike Eagle, and then pretty soon I'm hoping to do some F-16, and I'm kind of debating on whether or not I want to do A-10 or the F-14. I love the F-18 so much that I was kind of thinking maybe I go F-14, but I don't know if I like the supercarrier side of things more than air to ground, in which case I might want more of the A-10, but what do you guys think I should be doing? Any recommendations are truly welcomed. The other fun thing that's on brand but different is VTOL VR, which I do have a VR headset, and I have done kind of just the tutorials for it. I haven't really gone into any missions or anything, but it's honestly a lot of fun. Very different. I mean, it's not the same beautiful graphics and full fidelity that we see here in DCS, but it's a really neat experience, and it could be a lot of fun. If you guys have done that, I'd be really curious to see what you guys thought of that as well. But yeah, thinking of doing some of that, and let me know if you guys are interested in some of that content as well. While we get back on task here, it's a little hard to see. We zoom in a little bit, we do see the tower right here. I think we'll just kind of aim for the base of it, right? That makes sense. And a little lopsided, as with this asymmetrical configuration, that fuel tank gets empty and it creates a bit of lopsidedness. You're always having to hit your trim, which is hard to, it seems relatively easy to do, but between making sure I get some good commentary and making sure I fly this mission properly, it sometimes becomes a bit of a challenge. Release in about 5 seconds. Good hit there on the tower. You can see it's come down now. All right, I mean, that's 3 for 3 as far as I'm concerned. We've seen some really good hits and responses, enough to definitely cripple the enemy here and make basically that garrison no longer operational. So I'm going to consider this a mission success. And our next tasking should be a return to base, but it's quite a bit of a trek back, so I think I'll just wrap up this video right here, and thank you guys all for watching. Yeah, give this mission a try. It's really good to use the laser guided bombs. You know, typically I love the CCIP. You get nice and low into the action, and I think my next mission might be something to that effect. And it actually be using the snake eyes, so cruising at I think 550 knots and under 400 feet. Don't quote me on that, but I think that is kind of what I'm looking at for next week's mission. I upload weekly, so make sure you do check me out. Every Sunday is my upload schedule right now, and thanks a lot for joining me on today's flight, guys. I will catch you guys on the next one. Yankee out.